Welcome back to the channel, your daily source for mindset upgrades. My name is Peter Schwartz, and I'm hoping today when you watch this video, you're gonna learn something of massive importance to you. Everywhere we've gone in our lives, people have always told us things like, attitude is the most important thing. What you believe you will achieve, that your thinking determines your results. And yet there are very few places where you can go to actively learn to change how you think, to change how you feel, to change your attitudes, to change your beliefs. And I'm hoping that you can do all of that here with me. Today, I want to give you a comprehensive look into mindset. What does it mean to have a masterful mindset? And this is what I've devoted the last 8 years of my life to. I started in a place where I hit rock bottom. Mentally, emotionally, my health. I got depressed, developed severe anxiety, and I could not get myself better unless I learned the tools that I want to share with you guys today. And it's not about having a positive attitude. It's not about just pumping yourself up. It's about real, actual, effective techniques that you can use to really make your mindset so that you think more effectively, so that you feel better and you get better results in your relationships, in your business. I'm talking about coming into financial abundance. I'm talking about changing your entire paradigm of the way you feel. So let's dive right into it. There are exactly 3 things that you need to master in order to have an exceptional, absolutely exquisite mindset. All right? The first of them, it doesn't matter what order you go in, but the first of them is purpose. People talk about this all the time. They say things like, you have to know your why. We're gonna talk about that. More importantly, we're gonna talk about why you should stop looking for your why. You should stop looking for your why today, and I'll tell you why. Secondly, we're going to talk about your state. A state is everything from your physiology, the way in which you use your body, your posture, your breathing, the way you use your facial muscles, to how you're thinking. Every single thought that you think creates a chemical cocktail inside your mind. Negative thinking produces a cocktail of bad feelings. Good thinking produces a cocktail of good feelings. And we know now from research that when you feel good, you actually make better decisions. So it's important to feel good. And I'm going to show you how you can feel good on purpose. 1, so you feel good, so you get better results. And emotions are contagious. There's this effect called the emotional contagion. And what you feel, others will feel around you. Have you ever noticed how some people have the ability to just instantly light up a room? It has a lot to do with how they feel inside. And I'm going to show you how you can turn up states of charisma, how you can turn up states of self-love, self-acceptance, so that you can emanate and vibrate those things that human beings really deserve. But it's more than just about influencing the outside world. It's about your mind and body is capable of producing extraordinary states of consciousness. And most people spend their time in suffering states. So we're going to talk about how to get rid of those, how to exit those suffering states. So we have purpose, your why, we have your states, your emotional states of consciousness, and we have beliefs. Belief has been, this idea has been expanded upon since the beginning of our time. Our most sage teachers, everybody from Buddha, who said what you think you become, to Christ, who said that which you pray with belief you will achieve. I'm paraphrasing here, so I'm butchering those quotes. But it was what you ask for in prayer and you believe you will receive, you will receive. From our greatest athletes, Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, Michael Jordan, our top icons of success, Bill Gates, Oprah, Jim Carrey, over and over again, the most successful, the wisest people that we have in history talk to you about belief. And psychology now has gotten to the point now where we have research to back it up. We know that what you believe to be true, you will make true in the world. Doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean that your thoughts create reality. What it means is that your beliefs might as well be true, because your brain will tune out information that does not support your belief system. And that means, by the way, that your beliefs turn on and off awareness. In other words, if you believe in God, you will become aware of God-like coincidences or the presence of God in your life. If you don't believe in God, you won't have that awareness. I'm not talking about real or not real. I'm not having that conversation. I'm talking about how beliefs turn on and off your awareness. Let's pick another example. Vibe. Like, some people talk about vibe. They have an awareness of someone's vibe or energy. If you have a belief that says you can read someone's energy or that you can interact with energy, then you'll be aware of people's energy. You'll be aware of your own energy. Again, I'm not talking about real or truth value. I'm talking about ways in which we interact in the world. I'll give you a more specific example when we talk about limiting beliefs and how to change them. I'll give you specific examples of my own life. So moving on, you have those three things, right? Purpose, state, and belief. Let's dive into it, shall we? The first thing I want to talk to you about is purpose, and it might be the most important, although they do work together. But purpose, when we talk about purpose, we talk about a mission statement for your life, an overall sense of meaning about why you're here. And the reason why this is important is I know there have been times in your life where maybe by accident, you see, some people understand they have a reason for being. Some people are very clear on this. Some people aren't. But either way, I know that you've been in those moments where you felt like you were at the right place. You were at the right time. And it was that moment of just being so connected to something deeper. You felt like you were connected to source, like you were connected to your deepest reason for being here. And purpose is about aligning your life with that feeling, the feeling of highest meaning, of highest value. And you should stop looking for it today. Too many people, too many personal development people, too many coaches, too many therapists have people searching for their purpose, and it's the wrong way to do it. Purpose, meaning, and fulfillment, these come when you know what your values are and you have aligned yourself with your deepest values. So the first step is to figure out what your values are, and values are actually relatively easy to elicit. Here's how you find out what your values are. Take out a pen and paper. That's right, I'm giving you homework. I haven't even met you yet, and I'm already telling you what to do. Bossy, I know. Take out a pen and paper, and I want you to write down your goals. Write down 2 to 3 goals that you have. And for every single goal, I want you to right now ask yourself, what's important to me about this goal? And you're gonna answer logically, and that's good. But I want you to go deeper than that. I want you to, so if, let's say, my coaching practice, I want to have 20 clients per month, and I want to have a marketing system in place that acts as a funnel so that I don't have to sell. In other words, I have a funnel that consistently brings me 20 clients a month. That's my goal. And why is that important to me? The answer that we're looking for here is a value, and a value is something that you feel. So the question is, why is that important? Why do I value that? What is having that funnel in place going to allow me to experience or feel? So when I have that, it's gonna allow me to experience freedom. It's gonna allow me to experience more flow. It's gonna allow me to experience more connection. And these are all values. So freedom, flow, connection. These are all values. These are all experiences in the body. And what you want to do is you want to have someone like me, a coach, walk you through a values elicitation. Because when you find out what your deepest values are, then you can find out what are the things in your life that are going to bring you into alignment with these values. When you live a life aligned with your values, you will experience meaning. You will feel that sense of purpose. And you may or may not need an actual mission statement. Now, I do have a mission statement. My mission statement is to bring the tools of mindset to change beliefs, live in a beautiful state, and to bring meaning and purpose to your life. Those 3 keys, my mission here is to put these tools in as many people's minds and hands as possible. That's why I'm here. But when you start with your values, you'll get the meaning, and then you'll be able to discover your why much more easily. Moving on. State. Ooh, state. Well, here's the interesting thing about state is that your neurology is, if you think about all of the emotions that exist in the human language, fun, exhilaration, confidence, if you think about motivation, determination, if you think about joy, if you think about love, connection, if you think about all of the myriad of states of consciousness, fascination, if you think about all of these things, and then you get out a sheet of paper, homework assignment number 2, get out a sheet of paper, and you write down what are the most common what are the most common emotional states that I experience. So on one side of the sheet of paper, write down your most experienced negative states, and then on the other side, write down your most experienced positive states. When you do, most people either have about 50-50 negative to positive, right? Or they have more negative than positive. And if you tally the amount of time that you spend in suffering states or beautiful states, to use Tony Robbins' phrasing, how much of your time do you spend in stress, overwhelm, annoyed, frustrated, pissed off, anxious, self-doubt, versus how much time do you spend in the states that you want to experience? Joy, love, connection, significance. What are the states that you want to experience, and how much time do you spend in them? If this is a performance context, there are high performance states that exude excellence. How much time do you spend in those states versus how much time do you spend in suffering states? Understanding that your mind and body are one is part of the way in which you understand that your thinking determines how you feel. And when there's a law called Hebb's law in brain science. And Hebb's law states that neurons that fire together wire together. So let's say that, and this is the foundation for state-dependent learning. So when you're in a classroom, let's say, and they've done studies on this, that if students take a test in the same classroom that they learn the material in, they do better than if you put them in a different testing environment. And that's because the physical environment plus the material access different neurons inside your mind. Every thought that you have lights up a specific neural pathway. Every sensory stimulus, things you see, things you hear, things you feel or smell or taste, that accesses a particular neural pathway. And when neurons fire at the same time, they wire together. They get sensitized to each other. This is Pavlov. Only with humans, it works a little bit differently, but it's a similar concept. If you experience a feeling, let's say public speaking, a teacher asks you to come up and write the answer to a math problem on the board, and you go up there and you don't know the answer and you get embarrassed. And then a second time it happens and you don't know the answer. Pretty soon you've wired up public speaking with fear and embarrassment. But the opposite is also true. Let's say you go up there and you know the answer to the problem, you get praise, the class loves you, you crack a joke, everybody's laughing, and you get the problem right. Now public speaking is a state of confidence for you. It's a high performance state. We can train the mind to enter the states of consciousness that we want to much more often. We can train the mind to, when we face a challenge, to instantly go to our best states of consciousness, our most confident, determined, resilient, ferocious at getting the solution. And by the same token, we can make it so that when we're with family, we access love, connection. We leave work at the door. Mindset mastery is about emotional mastery. It's about developing the ability, number one, to elicit the states you want in your life. You can learn to go in and out of any state at will. And then it's also about automating it so that you automatically go into the right state at the right time. Now, the third thing we're talking about today is beliefs. Beliefs. So beliefs do three things. Beliefs turn on and off levels of awareness. They turn on and off levels of skill and capability. And they turn on and off levels of beingness. So what do I mean by this? Let's say that you believe that you're a likable person, or you're attractive, or lovable, and people like you. When you go out and you see somebody across the room and the corners of their lips begin to turn up into a smile, if you have the belief that you're likable, if you have the belief that you're attractive, you're going to interpret that as, this person likes me, this person's curious about me, this person's interested in me. If you have another belief, if you have a belief that says, I'm not likable, or if you have the belief that says, not attractive, whatever, then when you see that smile, you might number one, you might not even become aware of the fact that somebody's smiling at you. You might not even notice that. And then if you do, you'll tune it out. You'll say they were laughing at a joke inside their head, or they were laughing at you. Secondly, it turns on skill. So if you believe you can, the neurology to do it is available. Now, this does not mean that if something is outside the laws of the physical universe, that believing you can do it means you're going to do it. Not at all. Not at all. If you believe you can fly and then you jump off of a building, you will die. But as long as we're within the realm of the physically possible, if you believe that you cannot do something, your brain will shut off what's necessary for you to do it. And the perfect example of this is when I was testing for my black belt. I was about 12 years old, and I had gone through the whole test. I'd done amazing, amazing things, truly difficult things. I climbed up walls, jumped off the wall, kicked. I had blindfolded myself and had to find the targets through sound and break them with a blindfold on. I'd done sparring, I'd done all this stuff. And as a 12-year-old, the one thing I had not been able to do is to break a brick. So then I had to break this brick to pass my test. I tried and tried and tried and tried. I couldn't break the brick. My instructor comes over and he says, look, you're so close. You've already passed the blindfold test. You've already broken boards. So we'll combine them into a new challenge for you. If you can break this board with the blindfold on, you get your black belt. So he took my black belt, he wrapped it around my eyes, so he blinded me with the very thing that I wanted most in the world. And then I went to punch the new board, felt the wood under my hands, reached back, bam, smashed through. And when I heard what hit the floor, it wasn't wood. It was a cinder block. Because he tricked me and I thought I was breaking wood, my brain opened up power that was not available to me on the brick. I thought it was going to be easy, so I punched through. And these beliefs are happening all the time. Every area in your life, your brain, before you do an activity, gives you an expectation of how that's going to go down. And that vision, that little sound that you say to yourself, that little image or movie, opens up levels of awareness and levels of ability. Having a mindset coach or a mindset practice is about actively, consciously expanding your beliefs, getting better emotions, aligning with your values, so that you become the very best that you can possibly be. And I promise you, when you align with your values, and you incorporate that into who you are. Because beliefs, there are also beliefs about ourselves. And those are the most important ones to have awareness of and to change. But when you can own your mindset instead of being a slave to it, when you can align your life with your values, you will experience confidence, stable, grounded confidence, increasing self-esteem. You'll experience joy and flow and meaning and purpose. You'll experience constantly getting better, improving in your business, in your relationships. You'll experience access to the emotions, the states of consciousness that you want the most. And your relationships will get better. You'll get better at your communicating, persuading, influencing. All of the things that you want are available to you when you learn how to use this. So my challenge and invitation and prayer, my prayer to you, is that all of the time, money, and energy you spend on football and soccer and beer and cigarettes and all the limiting things that we know they're not necessarily bringing us forward, right? If you're binge watching Netflix or YouTube or whatever it is, give yourself the gift of taking a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, to invest in this. Invest in your mindset. Invest in your focus, your energy, your beliefs, your emotions, and finding out what your values are so that you can really live the kind of life that when you look back on it, you're glad you did.